So how does it happen? How does a celebrated national hero, a guy everyone looks up to, become a paranoid, blood-soaked tyrant? And I mean, in just a matter of days. That's the terrifying question right at the heart of Shakespeare's Macbeth. Today, we're going to dive deep into this psychological thriller, break down that dense language, and really uncover the step-by-step making of a murderer. And the entire play is basically set up by these three witches, with this one totally iconic line. It's a paradox, right? And it just hangs over everything. It's meant to be unsettling, to make all of us question what's real and what's not, right from the very beginning. So here's the crucial point. Fair is foul is the key that unlocks the whole story. You gotta remember this. We're in a world where nothing is as it seems. Appearances are completely deceiving. A loyal cousin could be a killer, a prophecy that sounds like a gift could actually be a curse, and a welcoming smile might be hiding a dagger. Keep this idea in your back pocket. It's our guide through the moral fog of the play. Okay, before we even get to the villain, we have to understand the hero he once was. Because, and this is so important, Macbeth doesn't start out evil. Not even close. When we first meet him, he is the savior of Scotland, a warrior of legendary status. And just listen to the sheer brutality of his heroism here. He's described as literally carving a path through enemy soldiers, splitting a man open from his navel to his jaw, and then sticking his head up on the castle walls. The thing is, at this point in the story, that violence is celebrated. It's what makes him a hero. And this slide just perfectly captures the tragedy. On one side, you have the king himself calling him a worthy gentleman for his service. On the other, you see Macbeth, totally broken, just staring at his own hands after murdering that same king. He took all that battlefield violence he used for his country and he turned it inward, for himself, and it absolutely destroys him. So, the big question is, how? How does he get from that worthy gentleman to a broken man covered in the king's blood? Well, it all starts with an idea planted in his mind by three witches on a stormy battlefield. This is the moment where everything changes. They greet him with three titles. The first, Thane of Glamis. Okay, he already holds that title, no big deal. The second, Thane of Cawdor. That's a promotion, interesting. But it's the third one, King Hereafter, that just stops him in his tracks. It's a completely impossible, unthinkable idea. And then, get this, just moments later, it happens. Messengers from the king arrive and tell him that the old Thane of Cawdor was a traitor, and the king has given Macbeth his title. Suddenly, the impossible prophecy is 1/3 true. The witches weren't just spouting nonsense. And you can just see the wheels turning in his head. If that part was true, what about the rest? Now, Macbeth's friend Banquo is there with him, and he's way more skeptical. He's basically saying, whoa, hold on a minute. He warns Macbeth that evil forces, the instruments of darkness, will often tell you small, harmless truths to lure you into a much bigger, much more destructive trap. It's a warning that Macbeth completely ignores. And you can see why he ignores it. Just look at his inner turmoil here. He's arguing with himself. He says this can't be bad because, hey, it came true. But it can't be good because look where his mind immediately goes. Murder. His first thought is about murdering King Duncan. The idea alone horrifies him so much it makes his heart pound and his hair stand on end. The seed of murder has already been planted. So Macbeth writes a letter to his wife, telling her everything that happened. And if Macbeth was hesitant, well, Lady Macbeth is the exact opposite. She reads that letter, and for her, the prophecy is not a question of fate. It's a call to action. It's a to-do list. This is her instant assessment of her husband. She's worried he's just too good, too decent to do what needs to be done. She believes he has the ambition, but not the mean streak required to act on it. In her mind, his human kindness is a weakness that's standing in the way of their greatness. So what does she do? She delivers this absolutely chilling speech. She calls on evil spirits to strip her of her femininity, her remorse, her compassion, everything that makes her human, and fill her with pure, unthinking cruelty. She wants to be an instrument of murder, and she's asking to have her soul hardened to do it. When Macbeth finally arrives home, he's still wavering. But Lady Macbeth has a plan. She tells him to look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. It's that fair as foul theme in action. Look welcoming, be a good host, but underneath that friendly exterior, be the venomous snake ready to strike. The king arrives at their castle. The plan is in motion. But as the moment of the murder gets closer and closer, Macbeth's resolve starts to crack. His mind, torn between ambition and guilt, starts to come apart at the seams. He's all alone, waiting for the signal, and he sees this, a hallucination of a dagger just floating in the air, pointing him toward Duncan's room. It's even covered in blood. He questions if it's real or just a dagger of the mind. His guilt is literally creating the murder weapon right before his eyes, pushing him towards the very act he so deeply fears. After the murder is done, their reactions could not be more different. Macbeth is an immediate wreck. He's paranoid, hearing voices claiming he has murdered sleep and will never rest again. He's absolutely horrified by the blood on his hands. Lady Macbeth, on the other hand, is completely practical. She tells him to stop being a coward, that a little water will wash all the evidence away. For her, it's just a problem to be solved. For him, it's a permanent stain on his soul. The next morning, the murder is discovered, and all the carefully constructed lies begin to unravel almost immediately. The natural order of the world is thrown into total chaos. The noble Macduff finds the body, and his words here capture the true horror of the act. See, he doesn't just say the king is dead. He says murder has broken into the Lord's anointed temple and stolen the life from it. In their world, killing a king wasn't just a crime. It was a sacrilegious act against God himself. And this timeline shows just how fast things escalate. The body is found. The alarm rings. Macbeth, in a supposed fit of rage, but really to silence them, kills the guards he framed. This makes the king's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, fear they're next, so they flee the country. Well, their flight makes them look guilty. And just like that, the path is clear. Macbeth, the hero, is named the new king. The prophecy is fulfilled. So he has everything he ever wanted. He has the crown. But at what cost? He murdered his king, his guest, and his friend. He's haunted by what he's done, and the murders have only just begun. Which leaves us with the final question. Did Macbeth achieve his destiny, or did he walk right into a trap laid by the instruments of darkness? Was it a promise, or was it a curse?